Musikmesse. I'm Riccardo Damiani from DV Mark, guitar amplifier from Italy. Thanks to Guitar Mania for coming at our booth, at Mark World booth, with the other brands that are Mark Bass, Mark Audio, Mark Drum, also Musikman new amplifier, new line of vintage reissue models. Just a quick show of the news for this year from DV Mark. The Little 42 is a 40 watts pure tube amps with 2 channels with separate controls and reverb and presence. It is we respected the classic sound, but with some innovation, and of course also with ultralight tube amplifier. It is the new generation of the Little 40 that is one of our top seller. The logo is very nice and interesting and useful features. It changes colors when you switch on different channel, so you can have immediately you can know what channel you are using on stage. Also on stage where there is not so much light. Just below there is the Marigold amplifier. That is the Greg House signature model. We named it like the band of Greg. Greg worked with Marco De Virgilis, the owner of the Mark, really strictly to make this amp that is still 40 watts with a 2 EL34 is 2 channel tube channel with setting of EQ like Greg needs, but of course like many guitar player needs. They work very strictly to fix the amplifier that he likes. Our cabinet, this is the Neoclassic 412. It is a 600 power handle cabinet, ultra light, thanks to the new Neoclassic speaker by DV Mark. It's a neodymium speaker. The name Neoclassic because it's a neodymium speaker but sound like a classic speaker, and so we can have the classic sound but in a very ultralight sound. Going ahead, we have our multi-amp that is on the market from about 1 year and a half. It is now a standard for many guitar players. It is all in one unit where you can find a tube amplifier, a vintage amplifier. There is a section with virtual amps, with a lot of effects inside, with speaker emulator, microphone emulator. Easy to use. You have 8 slots that you can decide what you want to put into the chain, then store very easy your sound. But and also it is powered. It is 250 watts for channel or 500 watts in mono bridge mode. Just below we find the tube multi-amp. This is really a news. It's the tube version of the multi-amp. It was an idea from our endorser Andy James, because usually he likes to use the multi-amp connected to the 666 amplifier. The 666 amplifier is a tube amp with 120 watts thanks to KT88 tubes.
Sorry for interrupting you, Riccardo. How much is that?
The power?
No, how much will it cost?
Really, the multi-amp is 1,400 in the middle euros. The tube multi-amp, we have not the cost. To be honest, he was born last Saturday. It's really a new prototype. It's a pre-release version. Repeat, Andy like to use the multi-amp connected with the 666 power section that was 120 tube watts. So we decided to have in one unit the multi-amp, but with tube section with the KT88 tube. So, and has sense to have also this kind of multi-amp, not only for metal, but a lot of guitar players like to have a power tube amp inside. I think this is all the news from DV Mark. We have also another big news. I don't know if you are interested, but I think so. It's that we introduced at Musikmesse the Musikman amps. Musikman amps from the original model from middle 70 from Tom Walker, and we restarted with this vintage model respecting the original design and adding some innovation from DV Mark, like example the neodymium speaker. If you like, we can have a very, very fast panoramics of the Musikman amps. Okay, so here the Musikman, you can see the original logo and the pictures of the models, but now we have them inside really. The idea was started from Marco De Virgilis, the owner, that asked one night to Stelling Ball, the owner of a Musikman amplifier. He sent an email saying, I have some amplifier of Musikman vintage at my office. A lot of guitar players like to play them. Do you like to? We can, if you like, we can remake this amp. After a few minutes in the night, Sterling sent an email back saying, yes, go ahead. And this is a really great step and very important for us. Maybe we can have now a check of the amplifier if you like. As I said, it is the original model from middle of 17 from Tom Walker. This is the 112 RD50. It is a 50 watts amplifier. Respect the original hybrid technology with the solid state preamp and tube power section. On the channel 2 there is also one tube for the drive channel with analog reverb, spring reverb, and with an innovation of the neoclassic speaker by DV Mark that respect the sound of the original model, but very ultra light for a tube amplifier. Another, the flagship of the Musikman amps is the 212 HD 120. Is a 120 watts tube amplifier with the two solid state section for the preamp, with very standard vibrato, tremolo and the reverb analog on the channel 2. It was the amplifier that for years Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits and Eric Clapton used in the 70s. And we have at last the flagship is the head amp, the 120 HD 120, that is the same concept of the combos but just hid with the GS412 cab. It is a 412 cab that respects the design of the vintage model but with the innovation of the DV Mark neoclassic speaker for 600 power handling. So it's able to handle any kind of power, and the sound is really a classic sound, so for any kind of style. There is a lot of rumor for the Musikman amps we expect to have in the early fall on the market, and we have a lot of fun, and not only for the vintage, not only for what the brand means, but because they are great amps. Again, many thanks to Guitar Mania for visit our booth, and say ciao from DV Mark.